Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Abuse Q&A. Normally these have been live, but no one comes to the live events. Everybody watches it afterwards. So I am from now on going to do the videos and answer your questions about abuse or myself or my music, my ministry, the podcast on Sunday, pre-record it, and then post it later. That makes it a little easier for me to work with my schedule, my crazy schedule. I hope you had a great week. Our question this week is from David in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Thank you, David, for your question. And his question today is, how long is it before you have to wait? Let me say that again. How long do you have to wait before you date again after your divorce or after leaving an abusive relationship? Well, David, that's a great question, and I wish people would ask it more often, because after you leave a relationship, whether it's a dating relationship or a marriage, especially, also if you had kids involved, that throws a little bit of craziness to the mix there. I wish people would ask this question because you are very vulnerable after a divorce. You are very vulnerable after an abusive relationship. And I don't want to use the word acceptable because each person is different. But I'm going to give you some things to think about when you leave a relationship, or if that's what you're going through right now. So back to vulnerability. The times that you are the most vulnerable are periods in your life like a death in the family, when you change jobs, when you've, had a baby, when you move to a new home, when you begin a marriage, and when you end a marriage. Those are very stressful times. Some of it may be really good times. Having a baby is a wonderful blessing. Getting married is a wonderful blessing, but those are huge adjustments. And when you leave a marriage, especially an abusive one, you are extremely vulnerable to all kinds of things. And I want to caution you from jumping into another relationship right away. Now, most of you won't listen to me when I say that because, one, you're lonely. Two, you probably have physical needs. Like, you need a roommate, or you need someone to help you with the finances, or you need a father or a mother for your kids. You want to jump into that next relationship because of some of the practical needs that you have. Also, let's just be honest here. You want that physical relationship. You want to connect with somebody on a romantic level. You want a friend. It's very hard when you leave another relationship because you've probably left behind a lot of friends, probably some family too. And when you meet somebody that seems really great and butterflies and rainbows and you seem to hit it off and you want to jump back in to another relationship because you think that this person is going to solve your problems right now. So I caution you against doing that. And here's why. You need, first of all, to get to know yourself. I'm sure being in a relationship, you have to compromise on things that you want, or maybe you don't really know who you are because somebody else has made the decisions for you. You don't really know what you like. You don't really know what you want out of life. You have a lot of introspection when you leave because you're like, what do I do next? What do I want to do? I encourage you to go through that process by yourself, maybe with an existing friend that you already have of the same sex or somebody that you trust. Go through these questions of who am I? What do I want out of life? What kind of a partner do I want? What is my relationship with God? That's a big one. Your relationship with God is probably been damaged, or maybe you still believe in God, but you're questioning, why did I go through all that? Is God mad at me? Does God really want me to be happy? You need to explore those questions with somebody that you trust, somebody that's not going through a breakup, not going through a huge transition in their life. The other thing that I say, the reason to wait, other than getting to know yourself, is you need to heal. You need to actually examine what went wrong in the relationship. What were the red flags? What things should I have noticed that I need to take notes for the future? What kind of character traits did this person have? Maybe I want to avoid. And we're not all perfect. Maybe there were things that maybe you reacted wrong to something. Maybe, I don't want to say this the wrong way because you're not the cause of your abusive relationship. If that's what you went through, marriages take two to tango. Yeah, I don't want it to sound like I'm putting blame on either party, because that is not my intention, but we are not perfect. We make mistakes. Here's a mistake. A lot of people, they turn to drugs and alcohol to cover up the pain. That is not going to solve anything. That is just going to make you an alcoholic and a drug abuser, and you still have the pain there. You need to heal from the pain that you went through. And that could be going to a therapist, talking with somebody that you trust, going through a program like Mending the Soul, or Celebrate Recovery. There's many programs out there that may fit your situation. You might need one-on-one help. but you have to take the time to heal from what has happened. 3, we talked about the sexual relationship. I made the mistake of dating right after I left my abuser, after I divorced. I mean, the ink wasn't even dry on those divorce papers, and I was already jumping into those dating websites. And I would really highly caution you to stay away from those things. I mean, I was 22 years old when I got married to my ex-husband. And when I got divorced, I was 38. And the dating world had changed a whole lot. I couldn't believe how different it was, how toxic those sites are, and they are full of really bad people. They are filled with predatory people. I mean, I'm dead serious. I dated some people that call themselves Christians. I dated people that were supposedly pastors or in full-time ministry, and they were not who they said they were. Okay, you've got to be very, very careful. I did, after a few train wrecks of relationships, I did get off of those dating websites. Now later, my now husband, who is a wonderful person, he reached out to me on a dating website that I had since abandoned. And I looked at his profile. Mine was kind of like, I didn't even have a picture on mine. But I dodged a bullet finding him on one of those Christian dating websites. But definitely my antenna was up. My feelers were up. There were definitely things that if he would have said or done, I would have cut him off. And he was the same way. He was healing from an abusive relationship as well. He had the same antennas up. I'm not saying you'll never go back on those sites, but give yourself a break, get settled, healing before you get into any relationship. Maybe somebody comes into your life from a new church that you're starting. You join the singles group. I encourage you to keep it on a friendship level until you get to know who this person is outside of a romantic way. What's the time frame for that? I would say 6 months to a year. I would say, yeah, go more towards a year, especially if you have children. You do not want to introduce your children to somebody new after you have left their mother or you have left their father. So be mindful of that as well. I didn't even get into the children, but your children need adjustments and healing, and they're confused, they're scared, they're all these emotions, and they need your attention right now. Don't divide your attention between your kids that need you right now and going out there and finding somebody to date. The right person for you, the right person for you is not going anywhere. God will bring you somebody. If you're looking to him for guidance, if you're not being led by your appetites, by your loneliness, or by desperation to find somebody to be with. So some of this stuff isn't easy to hear, but trust me, I've already been through it. I've been there where you have been, and I was really sorry that I got into dating right away. Would have saved myself a lot of heartache. I am going through my story on my podcast, The Wounds of the Faithful. So if you haven't been listening to my story, I am going to get into what happened after my divorce and who I dated and what happened during that process. So be sure to keep listening for that. But thank you for your question, David. I hope that was helpful. That gave you some food for thought, some things to think about. Of course, I cannot make the decision for you. It's your decision. So for everybody else, if you have questions like David did about anything that has to do with abuse, anything about my ministry or my podcast, you can put comments or questions in the post here. You can email me at diana@dswministries.org. You can go on my website, any of my blog posts, or you can comment on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I post these questions on my YouTube channel, so you can reach me there. I'll be glad to hear from you and answer your questions. So I hope that you enjoyed. So I hope that this was helpful for everybody. I hope that you come back and watch more of these videos. I hope you'll join me on the podcast. Episodes drop every Wednesday, wherever you can listen to podcasts. So you can even listen to it on my website, dswministries.org. So have a great rest of your Sunday. God bless you.